Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live. I'm Saquon. I'm going to scoot up because I feel like I'm really far. Okay, don't forget, you can always watch this, listen to this on your own time, of course, through our InForum YouTube channel. You got your favorite podcast platform. And then you can also find us on inforum.com/podcast under the InForum Minute. All right, let's get started right away. Today, a Fargo man who shot a woman and hurt a woman who also was on the run for more than a month, is going to be sentenced on 2 convictions. So we're talking about 22-year-old Oliver Ty. He made a plea deal back in August with prosecutors and then pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. He was also originally charged with attempted murder, but that was dismissed as part of the deal. Now, Ty did admit to shooting a woman at the Arbor's apartment in January of last year. She was seriously hurt, but she's okay, and she survived. So Ty is now facing up to 10 years in prison for each conviction. So we'll, of course, have an update for you in our 11 o'clock newscast and our evening newscast tonight. Right now, though, Fargo Police are looking for a domestic violence suspect who led police on a high-speed chase after he tried breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house. So this all happened at around 5 last night in a neighborhood right by the 25th Street exit off of I-94 in Fargo. So we do know officers found 28-year-old Richard Yelegan, and they found him threatening to break into his ex's house, take her stuff, and then hurt her. Well, then he started running away from officers, and that's when this whole chase happened. They led these officers all the way to 52nd Avenue South, right by Sweet Shots, and that's where police actually set up a perimeter in that area. But they could not find him, even with the perimeter, even after trying to look for him, they could not find him. So right now we do have a message into Fargo Police asking for any updates on that search, so we'll let you know as soon as we get those. We're also trying to figure out how a woman who was hit by an Amtrak train in downtown Fargo is doing this morning. That happened just before 4 yesterday morning, right by Cowboy Jack's in Fargo. So we do know that a 31-year-old woman was on the northeast side of the tracks with several serious injuries. Witnesses, though, are saying that the crossing arms were already down. Amtrak staff are saying that they tried to use the manual air brakes to stop the train. But as of the last update, all we know so far is that the woman was still in critical condition. So, of course, we'll keep following up on this for you and let you know what happens with her. Hopefully she's okay. All right. We also know 5 children were able to escape a pretty scary situation after the minivan that they were in went off of an off-ramp and then caught fire. And this all happened in Fargo. And police are telling us just after 5 yesterday morning, this minivan went down a 15-foot embankment and it hit a bike tunnel right in front of the Flying J just off of 32nd Avenue South. Well, police are saying now that the driver had some sort of a medical emergency before that crash happened. And the driver, along with the 5 children who were inside, they did have some minor injuries, but they're all expected to be okay now. So that's the good news out of this. We also know a woman in Polk County had to go to the hospital for being involved in a crash in a rural part of that county. So it happened right on Highway 2 near Crookston at around 12:30 on Saturday afternoon. 38-year-old Susan Carlson of Grand Forks was hit by another car that was driven by a man from Crookston. She was brought to Altru for her injuries. We also know there were 2 kids in car seats inside her car at the time. They were not hurt, thankfully. So we're working to learn if anyone will be facing any charges in this crash, and we'll certainly let you know once we get some answers. All right, this one I thought was really alarming, actually. There are dozens of sexual assault test kits in Fargo that have been waiting for DNA tests for more than a year, and right now we're just trying to figure out why. As of right now, you guys, there are 75 kits in Fargo that are awaiting testing. 18 of them have actually just been sitting on the shelf for more than a year. Attorney General Drew Wrigley is telling us that the North Dakota Crime Lab has seen delays in testing evidence since back in 2017. He's pointing to staffing cuts for the reason. Well, in Minnesota, it's actually seeing quite the opposite trend. There are no test kits that are more than a year old just sitting around in Minnesota right now. So I thought that was kind of an interesting comparison, Now we're trying to figure out if this, could be a statewide issue in North Dakota. We're not sure, of course, so we'll continue to track that for you as well. Very alarming trend in Fargo. Okay, we're also getting our first look at just how many people in Minnesota got in trouble last month for not wearing their seatbelts properly. Okay, so the Click It or Ticket campaign, they do this, of course, annually, right? But this year it ran from September 18th to the 24th. And guys, within that 1 week span, okay, more than 1,000 people were given tickets. More than 20 others were given child restraint citations. Clay County had 22 of those seatbelt violations and 1 child restraint violation. And that, it seems like a lot, but apparently this year there was a 25% decrease in the number of unbuckled drivers compared to last year. So I thought that was kind of an interesting comparison, but always make sure you're buckled because safety is important. Okay. Let's talk national this morning. We were tracking some breaking news out of Ukraine. 5 people, at least, have been killed there, and we know at least 12 others are hurt from a round of attacks on Ukraine's capital of Kyiv. So leaders in Ukraine are saying at least 4 explosions were heard throughout the morning, including one right by a children's playground, which breaks my heart. And it comes just a day after a bridge, as we told you on First News, linking Russia to Crimea was destroyed. And right now, the mayor in Kyiv is telling everyone to shelter in place. So I can't imagine how scary this time is to all of those people there. Okay, also right now, we know at least 25 people are dead. More than 50 others are missing in Venezuela following a landslide, which was caused by an overflow of rainwater from a nearby river. Well, the country's president has ordered maximum deployment of the Interior Ministry and the security agencies to respond to this whole situation. More than 1,000 officials and police officers are taking part in the search and rescue plan, and we also know that the president there has announced and declared 3 days of national mourning for the families who are affected. Also, we know that a $3 million effort is underway to provide permanent shelter to homeless veterans in South Carolina. This is a feel-good kind of story. But the first phase is a community of 25 tiny homes. And that right now is in its finishing stages in Myrtle Beach. Second phase is going to be adding 8 duplexes and a resource center that's fully equipped with a kitchen, laundry room, things like that. And organizers are hoping to have all the veterans moved into their new homes before the winter starts, so pretty soon here. Really good story. Okay, Hot Mike with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. Gosh, lots to talk about. Maybe he'll talk about the Vikings game. I'm not exactly sure, but he's always got something great to talk about. He's always got some great guests on as well, so make sure you go join him on his show. And also, before we go, really quick, don't forget, we can always get 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. You can get an all-access pass to InForum.com. All you have to do is go on InForum.com/subscribe. All right, everybody. We got our 11 o'clock newscast here in just less than 3 hours with Becky Parker, Dylan Vogt. And then our coverage continues at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Of course, lots of updates to come, plus a lot of stories that you probably haven't even heard of yet. So make sure you go join our crew. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning from 5 to 7. So hope you can join us. But in the meantime, soak up these nice temperatures because a cold front is coming and our temperatures are going to be dropping soon. So, all right. Have a great day, everybody.